So today we're starting our day bright and early here in front of McDonald's. Okay, we're not gonna eat at McDonald's. We're gonna go get a traditional Bulgarian breakfast. This is 24 hours in Bulgaria. We're gonna see as much of the city as possible without wearing our feet out. Tomorrow we've got something a little bit more special planned, and we're not gonna really be in the city for that. So today we're just gonna see as many things as we can do.
You don't have to go far here to find something delicious, but keep in mind they do use a different alphabet, so if you can't read Cyrillic, have your Google Translate handy.
This looks extremely hot. She literally just deep fried it.
This is awesome. So this is my kind of breakfast, right? I think what she did was she took this piece of bread and she threw it inside of a deep fryer and she fried it up, and then she just put Nutella and what looks like caramel on top of it for mine. For Mariana's, she has this like salty cheese and jam, and then we got 2 espressos. So
I feel like this is gonna be one of the first breakfasts because we have so much stuff to eat in Sofia.
Oh yeah, yeah. These are always extremely hot, so they are made to order.
Ooh, crispy.
Oh my God. It tastes like my teeth are gonna fall out, but it's amazing.
As we were walking here, there's actually a ton of bakeries in Sofia, and there was a few things in the window. I'm like, we need to try that, we need to eat that. So stay tuned for us gaining 20 pounds today. Ooh, the cheese is salty, like salty, and the jam, blueberry jam, very sweet, crispy fried dough. I just wish they had bigger coffees, but it's okay, we'll get more coffee. There's a Starbucks down the street.
There is a Starbucks, there's a McDonald's, there's all kinds of American amenities here.
We were on our way after breakfast to a church, and look what we found. Another beautiful church.
Church along the way. Yesterday we were saying in the video that when they uncovered these ruins, they found some church that was almost 1,000 years old. And honestly, a lot of them look like they're about 1,000 years old. So they probably, they're not far off from that. Maybe this one's a little bit younger, but they're all beautiful.
One of the other weird things Vernon and I like to do is to see where the locals like to travel. So you'll come across these travel agencies and where they're going and how much it costs. So it's kind of an idea to see where locals, you know, where they like to go vacation. There's a lot of places we haven't been to. Maybe we'll go to Armenia next, in Georgia. Wanna go there?
Greece is pretty cheap. It's like right next door anyway. Armenia and Georgia, yeah, that sounds...
Right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
They have a few places in Africa. They have Vietnam, Singapore, Jordan.
Turkey, Portugal.
Wow, yeah, people like to travel. Oh man, I would love to go to Vietnam.
But it's also interesting to see the places that they don't have on the list. And maybe wonder why they don't have those places. So like they have China,
Really?
but they don't have America on this list. They don't have Canada on this list.
Yeah, nothing in
Maybe it's
North or South America, actually.
And you would think it's too far, but China's pretty far too, so.
You can't visit Sofia, Bulgaria without visiting the stunning cathedral, and even though it's not that old, it's already become a very important staple of this city. I won't bore you with too many facts, but I think one of the main ones to note is the fact that this cathedral was built in honor to the Russian soldiers who fought during the Russo-Turkish War, which led to the Bulgarian liberation from the Ottoman rule. It can also hold up to 10,000 people, which makes it one of the largest Eastern Orthodox cathedrals in the world.
That was definitely one of the most strict churches I've ever been to in terms of filming or taking pictures, but also probably in the top 3 of the most beautiful. So you can take pictures and video, you just have to pay 30 lev, which is like 15, 16 bucks, in order to be able to take pictures and video there as much as you want. But technically, I guess the entrance is free, so it all balances out.
Yeah, we got there at a really lucky time too, because we didn't know why all the police were around. I guess there's some kind of a police procession, like a ceremony. Maybe somebody's ranking up in the police department. But as a result of that, a lot of people got the impression that they couldn't go into the church as a tourist. So they just kind of avoided it. And so when we went in, it was basically empty. There was only a few people there. And we got really lucky in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in the videos, like it was just nobody, it was just very surreal experience because it's huge. I read online it holds 10,000 people, but the lady inside told me maybe like a solid 5,000-6,000. But we had it all to ourselves, and it's just the dim lighting, the murals, just really
everything, just the gold leaf everywhere. You feel like you're stepping back in time every time you go into something like that. It's amazing.
So I didn't know, but this was also actually modeled after the church in Istanbul. So like that's where the inspiration comes from, like the dome, the shape. It's clearly not as big, but it might be more beautiful.
So we just left another one of these churches that popped up as we're walking around the city. And one of the things that I thought was really weird in a good way was that the outside of the church has this very sort of pretty pastel kind of color scheme, light blues and greens and white. And then when you go inside, they have just like the gold leaf everywhere, the candles, the dark icons. So it was just an interesting contrast to see the difference between the two. This is also another one of those where you can't record inside, so that's why I'm outside talking to you.
You can't really tell the concept of time on video, but it wasn't even 9 a.m. at this point. We actually had to wait for the museum to open. One of the things I think we'll have to change when traveling is to change our sleeping routine, because we tend to be morning people and a lot of things are still closed in the mornings, especially in these big cities. A lot of stuff doesn't really open till 9, 10, sometimes even 11 o'clock, versus usually you have things that are literally open till like 3 a.m.
How much were the tickets for this?
€3 each. It's what a steal, especially, I guess it's because we're here on a Friday. Maybe there's not a lot of people or something. But this place is beautiful. This looks like you're in some kind of really old palace that they just turned into a museum, like an art museum.
So one of the things Vernon and I really like to do whenever we go to any city, doesn't matter if it's for a day or 2 or 3, is we have to go to at least one museum and probably like 30 churches in this case, because Sofia just has so many different churches that we want to see all of them. And right now we're going to go to one where Vernon doesn't believe that it's from the 4th century, but it does say it's from the 4th century.
We'll see. We'll see.
Vernon found the Church of Transformers. Just kidding. But don't be afraid to go underground here, because I guess there's actually a lot of stuff to see underground, not just the metro.
Considering the history and the age of this city, which was built on top of another city, you literally have open air museums like this everywhere.
I think Vernon may have just been cursed by one of the street people, I guess you could say here. So now we need to go find another church ASAP to go bless him.
Yeah. So we were stepping outside of one of these churches, and this one from the 4th century. And this lady was begging for money. And I guess I walked past her, and I don't know if she touched my shoe or what it was.
But she grabbed your leg.
So if I get sick later on in this video, you guys know why.
It's the reason, in case you don't know, so it's like, a lot of people, especially in Eastern Europe, I remember growing up and stuff, like you always gotta be careful, like with the evil eye or somebody like hexing you or like, you know, giving you that look. So I remember when I was growing up in the village, you put like, I think the pin inside of your shirt, like inside out, to help kind of like keep the bad spirits away. And I think it's maybe like regional based on the area you're in, but it's kind of like one of those things that I'm having like flashbacks to my childhood, like the little things I remember my great grandma telling me. So it's interesting, like a little inside joke.
All right, so I think there's a little bit of context that's needed in the video. I've noticed that the construction of this building is a lot newer looking than the bricks that are outside. The stuff that's outside near the building looks much, much older, like some kind of ancient ruins. And when I looked it up online, it stated that the original area was designed to be a Roman bathhouse in the 4th century. So I think this area itself is from the 4th century, but I don't think necessarily this church was. Because it was apparently inside of the church, there's some writing on the wall near the ceiling, and it's in Cyrillic. But that language wasn't given to the Bulgarians until like the 9th century or the 10th century. So there's no way that this building could have been from the 4th century at that time, from what I'm guessing. If anybody knows the actual information, comment below, because Wikipedia and the internet is kind of all over with this one. So yeah, that's just what I noticed. And then sometime later on, the Ottomans tried to take it over, and then the Bulgarians took it back, and they turned it back into a church. So yeah, this place is really, really interesting. Unfortunately, we can't really show you any pictures or photos from the inside because they just don't let you take any of that stuff in there. But that's it.
A few moments later.
As we're walking around the corner, there's literally, I think this is the church we saw last night. And Vernon was saying, like, I think Sofia is definitely competing with Bucharest for the amount of churches we've seen. Because if you watch our video from Bucharest, Romania, we were saying there was literally a church in every corner. But I think Sofia might be beating Bucharest.
Yeah, this may have like 2 churches on every corner. We're here for lunch and we're at a place called Ribs Brothers. This is a place that actually kind of surprised me because we haven't had barbecue style food in a long time. It's almost impossible to find in Italy, especially where we live. But here in Sofia, there's apparently a restaurant called Ribs Brothers, and they have all it is just meat, ribs, sausages, basically what you would find at your local barbecue place in the US or something like that.
Pig ears.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that. One of them is called the Brothers Board, and it's for 2 people. It's 1,650 grams, and it's 59 of their dollars, 59 lev. So that's like, what, $32 or something like that? $33?
I don't think we had beer here yet, right?
Nope. We had a cocktail, we had their wine. I'm drinking their lemonade.
We had the shots of the questionable cherry liqueur.
Oh yeah, the cherry liqueur, yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean, it's called Old Sofia, so hopefully it's actually made here. I didn't look into that, it just sounded nice. Oh, that's a really good beer. It literally goes down like water. That's very dangerous. This for 5.5%.
Yeah, it's actually pretty
Right?
nice. Yeah, it's not bad.
Wow.
It's funny because she got the beer and I got the lemonade because I wanted something a little bit more refreshing. It turns out that that's way colder than what I got.
Really?
So, yeah. Mine is like room temperature with like 2 ice cubes in it.
Wow, this is a really good beer. I'm gonna be looking out for this. It's slowly, naturally fermented. So I wonder what, like, it doesn't have like, that nasty Heineken taste. Sorry, I don't like Heineken.
It looks like it has one of those churches that we went to on the front.
Honestly, I didn't even realize that was a church. I just thought it was like some Soviet building because it's red. I hope you're hungry because damn, that's a big portion.
After 3 churches, I think this is the true path to heaven right here. I am hungry. Other than that Nutella concoction that I had this morning, I've been starving. And this plate looks like it has everything that you could want. It's got pickles. It's got this, looks like Texas toast almost with garlic bread. Corn, which I didn't even know they had in Bulgaria since that comes from the US. They've got ribs, shredded pork, potatoes.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. This just looks like lard or something, some kind of pork fat. They've got roasted peppers over here, potato chips or fries, whatever you guys call them. Oh my God, look at this.
I'm looking forward to this. Does this feel a little sketchy? That you gotta call a person to go to the museum?
Seriously, like, I thought that this was the spot for the museum, but when you look at it, it's giving you information on how to get there, and it says it's around the corner.
Hello? Why do I feel like we're going to someone's house right now?
The Red Flat is designed to take visitors literally back in time to the 1980s, which is the last decade of communist rule in Bulgaria. It provides a really cool immersive experience of everyday life during that era. It's actually a typical residential building, and it's a typical apartment, and the furniture and everything there is actually authentic from the 1980s. Unlike a traditional museum, when you come here, you can actually touch and play and try on things. Like everything that's in the apartment, you can actually experience and interact and engage with. So when you get to the flat, you'll get this little Walkman with headphones, and you'll have different numbers. I think it's up to 44 or 49 different stories. And when you walk through the apartment, you'll see little red numbers throughout. And when you click on the number, you will actually get like a cool story about the people that used to live here, about their wardrobe, about what the dad did for work, about like what they like to do, where they vacations, what they liked, how they decide to purchase things. even their bathroom, the types of products they used. And do keep in mind, these are actually their things. So this is not staged. Well, maybe a little bit staged, but everything here is actually authentic. You can probably spend at least a good hour to even possibly 2 hours if you're taking pictures and video and just exploring the little flat, opening all the drawers, looking at their teapots. I can't believe that they actually even had food. Yes, they still had food in the apartment back from those days. Certain things definitely felt like a home for me. So it was really cool to experience this and to travel back in time. I'm not even kidding when I say that my grandpa pretty much had this exact same furniture when I was growing up. So it makes me wonder who's gonna have my furniture and our furniture in museum in the future. You even get really good views outside the window, although I doubt that it looked this good back in those days.
I love that we had barbecue and all that food before coming to visit a Soviet flat.
Yeah, so that was a really cool little museum, I guess it was. It was an apartment that's kind of frozen in time from the early 80s. They give you this little headphone set and you get to listen to all these stories of this random family who lived at that time. And I wasn't really interested in the stories. I was mostly taking pictures, but it's kind of interesting to see how people lived compared to when I was a kid. I was growing up in the early 90s and it was just vastly different. We had a lot more, and I thought I was poor growing up, but we had a lot more than what they had.
I'm actually amazed how well they kept all the books, they kept all the furniture, the medals, the photographs. So it literally feels like you're going through somebody's like time capsule and you're seeing their lives, and they no longer, I mean, they haven't lived there in like what, 40 years?
Yeah.
But when you do listen to the story, because I listened to some of the stories, you get to listen to, because it's real, how the dad was working abroad. I think he was working in Libya, and how he would send money home, the vacations, how he would go on holidays inside the country, how the typical apartments were, how they bought furniture. It's really cool because it feels like you're in like a documentary, but it's you inside of it.
Yeah.
So it's really surreal.
One of the things I thought was the most ironic about it was it wasn't free. It's a communist museum that's not free. It was only about $9 per person, which I think it was worth it because you get to see, like I said, how people lived a long time ago.
For me, what was funny is a lot of the stuff that they had in the apartments, I remember growing up in post-Soviet Ukraine. So I was kind of having like, you know, low-key some flashbacks.
It was time to travel back to the future from the Soviet times and try some local Bulgarian wine. Neither of us has ever had any Bulgarian wine, so we didn't know what to expect, but we were very pleasantly surprised and even picked up a few bottles to bring home. I highly recommend for you to check out this little shop if you like wine. Colin was super informative, very helpful, and the wine, the food, the cheese was a perfect pairing, 10 out of 10.
After the wine, we had a nap. Now we're gonna get some mineral water, which Vernon doesn't want to try because he doesn't believe me.
I didn't bring a bottle.
Just use your mouth.
I'm not gonna just reach down like
Just
a
use
water
your
fountain.
hands.
No.
You gotta try the mineral water. It's gonna
wait
heal
to see
you.
somebody else do it first.
Oh my God, it's fucking hot.
Is it really?
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh, see, that's exactly why I didn't want to try it, because I knew it was gonna be hot.
You feel it. Oh, it also has a strange smell. It is very, very hot.
It's like natural spring water?
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
But I see people filling it up in a water bottle over there. I mean, there's people over there drinking
And
it.
he got the e-bike and everything.
We're trying
look.
to see if they're all warm. Are you supposed to drink this?
I don't think so. Look.
No, they're all drinking it. Even the pigeons.
Yeah.
That's why they're so healthy. Vern, you gotta do it for YouTube. You gotta try the water. There's a guy right there literally filling up like 3 bottles behind you.
I think they're refrigerating this stuff after they get it. All right, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna take a sip and see
if
what...
it's...
We'll try it over here. What's this one?
So you get the Bulgarian strength to keep drinking.
Damn, okay.
It'll heal you after the wine. Does it taste like anything?
Well, it smells like eggs. It just tastes like clean water though, honestly.
So
So this restaurant Cosmos was recommended to us by quite a few locals, and I saw amazing things about it on quite a few blogs online. But honestly, to keep it real, I wasn't that impressed. Usually we go to one nice restaurant whenever we travel to a new city, and this restaurant was supposed to blend traditional Bulgarian cuisine with modern techniques. But honestly, considering what I've eaten so far in Bulgaria, I didn't see that much traditional. I just saw a lot of more modern cuisine. I will say the alcohol, the food quality, the ambience, the staff was incredible. But in terms of how traditional it was, I'm not so sure. Although that Bulgarian rose was delicious. I would recommend this place for you to check out if you are a foodie.
Strong like alcohol strong or strong sour strong?
Strong alcohol strong. What is this? I want to know what this is.
Let's say sugar.
It's not.
It's cheese?
Coconut. It's dry coconut.
I like that. Whoa.
Ooh, that is like a salad.
Wow.
It's as big as my head. Look
I wonder
at
if
this.
there's any alcohol left over there, man. Or they just dump it all in your drink. These people are not, shy when it comes to that stuff.
Look at this. For scale. I think it's like 250 mil.
Over here.
So we're on a hunt. I think that might be it. Into some dark Sofia alleys to find a bar and hopefully not get attacked by dogs.
Yeah, this will either be the last video or the best video. We'll see.
I
Maybe
think that
both.
might be it. Because so there's kind of like this, I don't know, this is where we are. I'm not lying, there's no names, there's no signs. There's a bar, there's no electricity, no credit cards. That looks like an outhouse.
Should I go check it out?
Yeah, you can go first. This will turn into the Blair Witch Project.
What do you do, knock 3 times?
I think just knock. Rakia, 40 to 60%.
Looks like we're having a seance in here.
If I have enough of this, we will. Why does this look like we're in some crazy back alleys?
Kind of looks like a scene from Resident Evil.
That does look, oh my god. Even the writing in the wood and everything. But anyways, today I think was a pretty successful, good one day in Sofia. Tomorrow we have another day outside of Sofia to adventure on, a bit more holy, you can say.
Yeah, so we actually did ask a couple of the locals that we interacted with whether we kind of seen enough for today, and they definitely thought that we covered a lot. So no regrets, we didn't miss anything.
Yeah. No, I think it was great. I think we got to experience kind of like a good general idea of what Sofia has to offer. I definitely love the city. People are super chill. It's very livable. There's so much to do, like so many cute restaurants, so many bars. I think we checked out like 4.
Mhm.
It's not bad considering we're only here for 3 days. But I think today there's a child crying. It's kind of spooky because we're in a dark alley. Now I really feel scared. Maybe we should finish this at the hotel. Let's go.
A few moments later.
So we went from a creepy alley to a creepy hotel. But it's actually hotter in here.
Yeah, I don't understand how we've noticed that a lot in this city. It's like the drinks are cool, but they're not cold.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't really use a lot of ice. We've
Yeah.
experienced that before. And the indoors, a lot of places don't have air conditioning.
Well, they'll have it, or it's not on. I'm like, it's July, you think it'd be on?
Yeah, they're waiting for what, like one day in August or something like that. But thankfully, our hotel, we definitely are.
I feel like that's a superstitious thing. You know, like how in Italy they have superstitions with the wind blowing in you.
Yeah.
I think each country probably has a superstition. Comment down below your country's superstition, because I like to know these types of things. I mentioned one earlier in the video about Vernon getting cursed.
But yeah, so far I'm still here, so I think the curse didn't really work that well.
But thoughts on Bulgaria, like quick recap, what do you think?
I loved it. I thought it's a super underrated place. I think that a lot more people are gonna start to visit it soon. And
I hope so.
Hopefully, we've showed you a side of it that isn't all bummy and slummy like a lot of other places. It is Eastern Europe, so there's gonna be an impression that you're gonna have about it, but I loved it. I thought the food was amazing, the people were nice, the streets were pretty clean, except for the graffiti.
A few places, but it wasn't as bad as some other cities we've been to throughout different countries in Europe. So it's relatively clean, people are really nice. The architecture is not as Soviet inspired as you would think. So one of the guys we were talking to earlier said because after, I think it was the World War II, and then after the Soviet collapse, they had some architects from Austria and Hungary come over and they kind of help design and reconstruct some of the buildings. So that's why when you come here, you kind of get a lot of those vibes. Hopefully you enjoyed today's quick video of 24 hours in Sofia, and we encourage you to visit this beautiful city and stay tuned for more adventures.
Ciao.